Hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of the Lincoln Williams Show. Welcome back to another TV show uh, seasons countdown of the top 10 seasons of Doctor Who. So I just wanted to talk about this list, but before I start, it's like, what is my favorite season of Doctor Who? So I'm just gonna narrow it down for you, like the top 10 seasons. They're now 12, so I think six, like the 2 out of 10 seasons will not be on this list. So yeah, so basically, I just wanted to talk about my favorite seasons and all that stuff of Doctor Who, like the top 10 seasons, and one honorable mention, special or something like that of Doctor Who, and things like that. But before I start, I just wanted to let you know, YouTubers, that probably in the next few days, for my business, I got a Nintendo Entertainment System that's modded. So it has a modded cartridge slot that you just push in, you don't press it down, and all that stuff. And I want to review that on the channel, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you're wanting more, which my girlfriend wants more, so my girlfriend wants more videos like this. But so yeah, stay tuned for the Nintendo review if I ever get it this week. I hope I get it this week, so that way if I can review it for you guys, all that stuff. So yeah, so um, yeah, so yeah, let's get on with the top 10. Let's get on with the top 10 seasons of Doctor Who. So the reason why I wanted to make this list, because I've been really passionate for Doctor Who over the last couple years, and I've been watching the seasons, and I've been talking with my buddy Noah and all that stuff, and yeah, and with my friends, family members, girlfriend. So there's a couple of us who like Doctor Who in our family, but I'm the major fan of the group, and my mom is a major fan of the group too. So yeah, let's get on with the list and all that stuff. So yeah, so starting at number 11 in the honorable mentions, I'd have to say, for the honorable mentions group, before I start this top 10, is the David Tennant specials. Now, why is this so low down on my list? Because the reason why it's so low down on my list is because one episode that was really, really dark in the specials. I only watched this episode like 5 to 6 times in my life and all that stuff, because it was just so dark. And I usually watch a Doctor Who episode 10 to 20 to 30 times in my like lifetime. I just don't know how many times I watched a Doctor Who episode. I lost track, so I've been watching it with all my girlfriends, my cousins, my family members, my friends, and it's been a really wild ride for this series. So I wanted to talk about this one episode that's so down on the list, and that is called The Waters of Mars. Just to be, why is this so low on my list? Is the David Tennant specials are, it's called The Waters of Mars, and The Waters of Mars is so dark throughout the entire series. It's so dark on my list because the crew gets killed on the Mars station. They are fearing for their life because of the water. The water will transform them into water zombies and all that stuff, and it's just unimaginable, like, power, and they just get flooded with water on the base, and a lot of people get killed on the base. And the captain of the crew member, even though the doctor saves the crew member, she still shoots herself because she wasn't meant to be alive. And that's why it's so down on this list. Now, for the others, End of Time was pretty good. Planet of the Dead was probably one of my favorites. Planet of the Dead was probably one of my favorites. It's a sand dune level, but it gets kind of boring, but it gets kind of interesting. And The Next Doctor, basically. So, The Next Doctor features the Cybermen from season 2 in the David Tennant specials. It features the Cybermen from season 2, and it was pretty good. That was really, really good because it was translating the Next Doctor and all that stuff. It's like oh, the doctor's thoughts got translated into a human and all that stuff. So so he got translated into the doctor's thoughts got translated into a human and all that stuff because of the Cybermen and all that stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It was pretty good. Let's get on with the list. Starting at number 10, we have, let's see, at number 10, we have season 6 of Doctor Who. Doctor Who season 6 is really confusing because it follows the events of River Song, the Doctor's wife. Season 6 explains how River Song came to be in the entire series of season 6. So that's what's going on. It's a little bit confusing. It's like, oh, what time zone is she in? Is she a child? Is she a teenager? Is she an adult? What is happening with season 6? And I didn't really get it all the way through. There's some silly parts in the entire series, and I just didn't really like it. It has Matt Smith, but it was just a little bit confusing at the end and stuff like that. I don't know what they were trying to do. Rewrite history, fix points in time, all that shenanigans in season 6. It was just a little bit confusing, so that's why I'm breaking it down on the list. Number 9, we have, I'm just going to list these in a particular order. At season 9, at episode, at season 9, so number 9 is, what do I rate my lowest? I think it would be season 10 at number 9. Season 10, number 9, I just didn't really care about the companion that the old doctor was traveling with, Peter Capaldi. I have a painting of him in my room. Funny story, I have a painting of Peter Capaldi in my room. So season 10 was not all that my favorite. It wasn't my favorite of the entire series. It was a little bit confusing, like halfway through, and like when the doctor went blind in his eyes and all that stuff. He went blind in his eyes when he got, I think he got attacked. No, I think he got attacked. No, he went outside in space way too long, and that's how he lost his sight and all that stuff. He went outside without a helmet. He couldn't breathe a little bit, but, he lost his sight, and he was like, no, wait, I can't see, I'm still blind, and all that stuff. It's like, crap. So, oh, man. So how does he fix this? With computer glasses, with so he fixes him with computer glasses, sort of like mine. That way I can see a little bit better around the room. And he gets his sight back eventually, but it was just a little bit confusing with the companions, Nardo and Bill and all that stuff. The girl named Bill. I just didn't really like my mom didn't really like the companion all that much. And we liked Nardo. Nardo was pretty cute nonetheless. He looks like a he's like, sir, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with the TARDIS and all that stuff? He's like, I don't know, just park it in the shed. All this other stuff. I'll park it in the shed, Nardo, and all that stuff. So yeah. So no, it's like and I love it when he goes, yeah, that's right, yeah. So I actually like his personality in the season, but it just gets a little bit confusing. But the biggest reveal about this season of season 10 is that the Master comes back, his old self and his new self, Missy the Master, and all that stuff. Missy the Master and the Master from Doctor Who season 10. That was really exciting to see that the Master came back from the end of time, and the Doctor from season 8 and all that stuff. So that was it was really cool to see the Cybermen in action and how the Masters were taking control of the Cybermen and all that stuff. And it's like, this is the genesis of the Cybermen and all that stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, it was really, really good. Really just, oh my gosh. It was really good at the end, but in the middle, you can take it or leave it. Take it with a grain of salt and all that stuff. So Doctor Who is good at some points, but just gets a little weird sometimes. But anyways, yeah. So around season 8, no, not season 8, but number 8. Sorry, I'm listing so many seasons. Number 8, I have to go with, well, I'm going to list, no, I'm just going to say it. At number 8, I think I'm going to have to go with Doctor Who season 1. Doctor Who season 1. Yeah, I think I'm at number 8. I think I'm going to have to go with Doctor Who season 1. There are some good points in here. It's just the Doctor, this Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, is a little bit, he's a little bit silly in this one. He was a little bit silly. He does his little dance moves. He does his dance moves in the second episode when he's dancing to the beatbox music with his head and all that stuff. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, my face is not in the camera. Yeah. So, Doctor Who season 1 is really good. It's really, really good. So yeah, Doctor Who season 1 is really, really good. It's just so hard to rank these and all that stuff, but I'm getting there. So yeah, Doctor Who season 1 is pretty good. It has the Daleks in it. It has the nesting consciousness. It has new aliens and all that stuff. It has the creepy empty child. It has the creepy empty child from season 1 that says, "Mommy, mommy, 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 are you my mommy, mommy?" It's like, oh gosh, that's gonna give me nightmares. So that's why I don't really watch that one a whole lot. But I mean, I watched that one dozens of times when I was a kid, but now it just kind of creeps me out when I'm like an adult and all that stuff. But yeah, it's so yeah. There's imposters of the mayor and all that stuff. Like there's imposters of the mayor. Like the doctor has to stop the mayor from executing a plan throughout the entire city and all that stuff. So yeah, it's really really exciting and all that stuff. So I actually like that part. And also there's Captain Jack in it. Captain Jack with Rose are they just a cute? They're just a cute couple, but they're just a cute couple while they're dancing on top of their spaceship by Big Ben and all that stuff. So that was really, really good in The Empty Child, where they were trying to survive like gas mask zombies and all that stuff. So yeah, so that was actually like mommy. So yeah, so I had to make that joke, but anyway. All right, let's list these off. So, and at number 7, number 7 we have Doctor Who. We have Doctor Who season 9. Actually, Doctor Who season 9 was like really really good, but a little bit confusing as well with the girl who cannot die and all that stuff. That was really really fascinating how she just lived through planet Earth, and she lived through her beginning of her timeline to the end of the universe and all that stuff. So I was like, that is freaking weird. I mean, how many dates how many dates did she actually have? All that stuff. So I was like, I wonder what that would be like, but anyway, but so it was really weird. It was a really weird season, but I actually liked it. I actually liked it a lot. I loved how they brought back Davros into the mix in season 9. I really loved how they brought back Davros and the Daleks really, really well. But there was one caveat in that episode that I did not really like. They actually shoot Clara, but she survives with a blast teleport from the Daleks' blaster. But she survives. But that shot always just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart, from the very moment that when she gets shot, she gets teleported and all that stuff. And it's like, really? You had to include that in a TVPG show? Really? Are you trying to like break my heart for one of my favorite Doctor Who companions get shot and all that stuff? It's like, come on, buy a Dalek. I mean, I really don't really like that all that much, but it's anyway. But I liked the episode. I liked the episode and the entire season. I thought it was great. How it wrapped all the things up. Like the end of Clara's adventure and all that stuff. It was actually kind of sad at some points, but it was actually really really good. Yeah. So at number 6 we have Doctor Who season 8. Doctor Who season 8. Man, oh man, what do I have to say about this season? Man, this season, you should never be afraid to be too old. And that's what this season really taught me as, a Doctor Who fan of, like the Doctor's old, the Clara's not getting used to it, of him being old, but she's trying new things throughout her teacher career, and she gets a boyfriend and that stuff, and the Doctor is just tagging along with, but he's like a parent to Clara. It's like he's like a parent to Clara, and all that stuff. So yeah, it was like really, really, it was like really, really, it was like really, it was like really weird, to be honest. Like the doctor as an old guy monitoring Clara. It's like, who are you having dinner with? And all that stuff. And it's like, really? You're monitoring Clara's dating relationship in this season? And you don't even approve of the guy like halfway through the season, but later, and then you're trying to rescue him from, the virtual heaven that the master is actually planning on. And throughout the throughout season 8, um, Missy was transporting people to another like dimension, which is like her version of heaven and all that stuff, her version of heaven. But it actually is not heaven. It actually is a transportation for people to stay in an upgraded cloud thing and get transported into Cybermen and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's really weird and all that stuff. So yeah, so that was really really weird in season 8 and all that stuff. And Missy and the Master is a girl now. The Master is a girl now, and he was a totally a guy in the series. She's a girl now. I'm like, what? And all that stuff. So that didn't really make any sense. They call Missy, and I have Missy as an action figure and Peter Capaldi as an action figure. Those things have never been opened before, and it's been really fun to collect them through over the years. And it's like yeah, and the Master as a girl, she is psycho. Like she's like, and so this one girl, Osgood and all that stuff, Osgood, she goes up to the. It's like, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Just come here. Just come here. Just come here. And she's like, what? It's like, what do you want? And all that stuff. And it's like, just come here. You know that stuff. And she's like, I'm going to kill you in a minute. Oh my gosh, that was so messed up. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it's like, whoa, she's gonna kill her in a minute. She better like get out of there, but she doesn't get out of there. She just stays there in the room waiting to get killed. No, I was like, oh my gosh. And then he's like, and then the Master's like, it's like, do you like bananas? And I was like, and then she just spritz her with her like, disintegration device and all that stuff, and then she gets disintegrated. I'm like, whoa, she's like dancing around the room, like, wow, she's like really jokery and all that stuff. So yeah, he's like the Joker in some ways. The Master's always been like the Joker, but that's what he's like portrayed as. But yeah, but that was really really weird. So probably at number 5, maybe at number 5, number 4. I think we're reaching the end of our conclusion. At number 5, we have Doctor Who season 11. At number 5, we have Doctor Who season 11. I basically loved this season. Why did I love this season? Because Doctor Who season 11 is trying something new. It's trying something new. It's getting you into another phase of the Doctor's life, like the Doctor becoming female and all that stuff. And I just love the Doctor as a female. It just actually really helps me to get to know females a lot better and all that stuff. And but it's it was really really fascinating for Jodie Whittaker to become the Doctor. I was really really happy that she, I was like, oh, It's like, oh yeah, that was really, really, really fascinating. And the new TARDIS is pretty cool and all that stuff. So the TARDIS is pretty cool. So yeah. So number 11 was pretty good. As an honorable mention, I had to put number 12 in here because it connects to the Doctor's timeline, and we finally know what happens with the whole connection with Gallifrey and the Doctor and the Indian master from India and all that stuff. So yeah, the master's back to being a guy and all that stuff. So that was actually pretty weird. So Doctor Who was season 11 and season 12. They were really, really great. They had one episode with Amazon, like the Amazon partial shipping service, but it was actually not called Amazon. It was actually called Kablam and all that stuff. So that was actually really, really weird that they had it gets a little silly here and there, but but yeah, so yeah, how's my time? It was really, really good. So there's a shipping service called Kablam, and your package explodes right in contact at the door in the episode and all that stuff. So they're trying to stop all the packages from being delivered and all that stuff. And the bubble wrap is the bomb and all that stuff. So it's like bubble wrap and all that stuff. So if you ever get tempted for bubble wrap, don't even do it. But I liked this one alien. I liked this one alien called the Stenzar Warrior Race. Now, what do they do? What do they do? Now, these are guys who are hunters, and they pull out people's teeth and they stick it on their body and all that stuff. It actually is weird, but they don't show the whole body part. There's this one guy covered in armor, and he has this whole face covered in teeth and all that stuff, and he looks really, really weird. And he's like, "We are the Stenzar warrior race, and we hunt our prey." And all that stuff. So I'm like, whoa, this guy's really, really like super powerful, and it's like he electrocutes people, and all that stuff. So that was really, really cool in season 11 and all that stuff. So this season has spiders. This season has all that stuff. So, and at number four is Doctor Who season 5. Doctor Who season 5 is one of my favorite seasons of the Doctor's adventures. I've shown one episode to my girlfriend and Amelia Pond, which is my favorite Doctor Who character of all. Doctor Who character and companion. I have a picture of her, a poster on my door in my room, holding a pirate sword from season 6 that I mentioned. Amy Pond is just really, really good as a good Doctor Who companion and all that stuff. So I really, really like her. And I really, really like Amy Pond. She has red hair. She's a redhead, and I love redheads. And my girlfriend kind of looks like a redhead, but she is like blonde and all that stuff. But, and her name is Amelia. So, yeah, so anyways, so sorry, I have to mention your name, Amelia, but, she reminds me of my girlfriend, and I just she's my favorite companion, okay? And all that stuff. She's my favorite companion throughout the entire series. Matt Smith is young, the 11th Doctor with the bow tie and all that stuff. He's really, really young. I really enjoyed this season and all that stuff. It has Weeping Angels. It has Daleks. It doesn't have Cybermen, though, so that's why it's a little bit lower down my list, because I love the Cybermen as a villain and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it was really, really great. It has Weeping Angels, which if you're not really prepared for super scary events with jump scares with Weeping Angels, then don't watch the Weeping Angels and all that stuff. But it gives you a preview if you want to watch the Weeping Angels from season 3, which I'm about to mention. So yeah, but season 5 really centers around the crack in space, the crack that, it's unexplainable and all that stuff. It's like the Daleks are saying the cracks of the skin of the universe are caused by you, Doctor, and all that stuff. And it's like, please, every supernova, every moment of history, the universe will never ever coexisted. Listen to me, and all that stuff. And then all the villains lock the Doctor in the Pandorica, which the companions have to break the Doctor out and all that stuff. So it was really, really good. It was a really good season. And I just, I loved it. I loved every single bit of this season. It was so good. There was a whale at the bottom of a ship and all that stuff that's pigging back on the human race. The whale is the ship and all that stuff. That's what it draws its power. So don't hurt the whale. Whatever you do, don't hurt the whale. A star whale and all that stuff. So, yeah. So it's called a star whale. And it looks like a walrus and all that stuff. So, yeah. So it's actually really, really good. So it was actually a really good season. Highly recommend it. So at number 3, we're getting down to the top 3, I think. At number 3, we have season 4. Season 4 is just one of the best David Tennant. Now we're getting on to the David Tennant specials. So we're just closing in on one of the best seasons ever. So, one of the best seasons ever, but there was a bit of a mishap. There was Turn Left and a planet called Midnight and all that stuff. The episode called Midnight and Turn Left. Those bring it down a little bit of the season. But the rest of the season is super good. It has a military episode where the guns don't even work against the Sontarans. And then the Sontarans are just shooting military people down. And I really do love that episode. And they're trying to figure out how to fix the guns and all that stuff. And the Doctor's like, if I see one more gun, I'm just going to take someone's head off. But he doesn't even say that. He just says, if I see one more gun. And all that stuff. So he hates guns, and my girlfriend hates guns too. So there's something to relate to. So yeah. So anyways, yeah. So I love season 4. I just love it. There's the Pompeii episode, which is pretty interesting. Like how the Doctor saved some humans from a volcano from Rome, ancient Rome, and Peter Capaldi, the guy that I have in my room, featured in this episode. So that was actually really, really good. So yeah. So moving on to it's a pretty good season. Watch it. It has the final moments of the Daleks and Davros and everybody coming together to help take Davros down, the creator of the Daleks and all that stuff. So that was in the spaceship and all that stuff. So yeah, it was actually really good how the Daleks stole all the planets and the Doctor's trying to get the planets back and all that stuff. So at number two, I would have to say, at number 2, we have to go with season 3. Season 3 is really, really good. Season 3 is really, really good. It's really, really good. Because season 3 has some new enemies and some old enemies. And they have the Daleks in this one. And I loved in one of the episodes, the Dalek, one of the Dalek episodes, where this one guy, he's a boss. He's like a boss that owns the Empire State Building, and he's ruled by these Daleks down below so he fixes the building up top with his workers, and he gets invited down. It's like Dalek Sec, I'm honored to meet you. I've been working with you for so many years, and all that stuff. Thoughts and corners of my mind. It's such an honor to meet you, and all that stuff. So, it's like you will become the Dalek experiment, and all that stuff. And it's like, and it just gets sucked in to the Dalek thing. It's like, no, you need me. No, yeah, you need me. No, and then he just gets sucked into the octopus, the Dalek octopus, and then he eventually becomes a human Dalek, and then the human Dalek becomes more human and all that stuff as the Dalek is progressing, and it's like, and it was really, really good, and that's one of the highlights of season 3. But we also have the first incarnation of the Master of the new series. They were first incarnation of the Master at the end. The Master comes back, and he has that watch that is disguised as Time Lord DNA. So once he opens it, he just gets all of his memories back and all that stuff. And then he goes psycho and he kills an alien lady at the end of the universe and all that stuff. And then the Master steals the TARDIS, and then he takes over the government and all that stuff. And he takes over the government of London, and the Doctor is trying to stop him and all that stuff from doing something terrible and all that stuff. So so it's actually really, really good in season 3 and all that stuff. So And a number 2, and a number 2, and a number 1, and number 1, we have to give a shout out to season 2. Season 2 is the best Doctor Who season that I can think of, because it's just one of my favorites. There's a Christmas episode. There's a Christmas episode. There's Cybermen. There's Daleks. There's the only downside of the season is the devil. The devil appears in the series. He's really, really scary. So I would not recommend watching that if you're, Christian or Mormon or anything like that. I would not recommend that to like any Christian watchers, because it's really satanic, really evil. I would not highly recommend watching that episode from season 2. But everything else is just fine. It's just fine. So but there's a little bit of a sad ending to season 2, and that's where we lose Rose and all that stuff. We lose Rose in season 2 from season 1 and all that stuff. But she comes back in season 4. But it's just a little sad when she has to leave the Doctor because she went into another dimension, another parallel universe through the portal. And she's with her parents now and all that stuff. So it was actually really, really sad to see her go, because she's one of my favorite companions, but not as good as Amy Pond and all that stuff. Not as good as the redheads. Doctor Who, throughout all my moments of Doctor Who, this one was the best. It had a romance episode in season 2 called The Girl in the Fireplace, which is actually really good. I highly recommend that you watch that. You get to see Madame de Pompadour and all that stuff with the Clockwork Droids. And the Clockwork Droids returned in season 8. So, from 2 to 8. And it's just really, really good. And, so I love Doctor Who season 2. It has so many great puns and stuff, so many lines, so many lines that I can calibrate from that, from the seasons of Doctor Who. So yeah, it was really, really good. So I am giving it my number one season of Doctor Who. That is my favorite season of all time of Doctor Who. It never got better than that and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's pretty good. So I highly recommend it. So what was your favorite Doctor Who season? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys all later in the next episode of Lincoln Williams Show, which I'll probably produce tomorrow, probably with the NES that's coming in, or maybe on Friday, or I don't know. I don't know when the NES is coming in, but I hope it comes in soon. So yeah, so anyways, YouTubers, I will see you later, and so as my catchphrase, Allons-y, I'm out of here, and all that stuff. Allons-y, Geronimo, and all that stuff. And so yeah, so anyways, YouTubers, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys all later in the next Lincoln Williams Show episode. And so yep, all right, YouTubers, have a fantastic day. All right, I'll see you guys all later in the next episode of Lincoln Williams Show. I'll be back someday, YouTubers.